Next up, at UFC Macau, we have the main event of the evening. We have Petr Yan doing his best flex, taking on Deiveson Figueiredo. Petr Yan, 17-5 in his career. 2-3 in his last 5. He is coming off that win over Song Yadong, taking on Deiveson Figueiredo, 24-3 in his career. 4-1 in his last 5. He is on a 3-fight win streak at his new weight class. Petr Yan, former bantamweight champion of the world, phenomenal striker, fantastic takedown defense, surprisingly good takedown offense as well. He's a nightmare for a lot of people because of how dangerous the striking is and then how well-rounded the grappling is. He plots forward. He's got that Muay Thai style, that Muay Thai guard. He'll blast away with power and accuracy. He averages almost 2 takedowns per fight with a solid 85% takedown defense. He is coming off that win over Song Yadong, where he had a couple of takedowns and very clean striking. He's taking on Deiveson Figueiredo, the former flyweight champion of the world, the weight class below this one. He is undefeated in this weight class since moving up. We've seen cardio improvements. We've seen a higher focus on wrestling. And it seems that he has taken his power up here with him. He's a well-rounded guy. He's dangerous everywhere. He's got that power in the hands, well-timed shots, a BJJ black belt, and some dog in him. He's coming off that decision win over Chito Vera, where he was the first person ever to record a knockdown against Marlon Chito Vera. Figgy did the impossible in that fight with that punch. You could argue that Chito sort of tripped, was a little off balance there. But the reality is...
What is last fight, Garbrandt?
No. He knocked down Chito. Garbrandt was at UFC 300 all the way back in the spring. Am I wrong? No, I'm not wrong. No. Anyway. Figgy's good. He's looked phenomenal at bantamweight. I just don't know if it's going to be enough. Petr is fast. Petr's got some dog in him. We saw that in the Sean O'Malley fight. We've seen Deiveson have some dog, but we also watched Brandon Moreno break him. I'm going to go with Petr Yan here, but I would not be shocked if an older Deiveson Figueiredo all of a sudden came out here looking like a Nurmagomedov and really got the wrestling going, because Petr Yan's takedown defense is very good, but that's against like Aljo. Like, he hasn't really fought somebody with phenomenal takedowns, and Deiveson has really cranked it up lately. So Petr Yan is going to be the pick. Minus 300 seems far too wide for me against a guy like Deiveson, who is a former champion, who can go 5 rounds, and has looked good at this new weight class. What do you think, Jakey boy?
Yeah, I'm just gonna preface this by saying he probably shouldn't listen to me on this breakdown. I'll just be honest with the people, because the obvious pick here is Petr Yan. Right, he's going to be the better striker. He's the cleaner boxer. He can hold his own in the wrestling, maybe even offensive wrestle if he needs to, because we've seen Figgy been able to get offensive wrestle. He's going to scramble hard, but he can get takedowns to win rounds. He's the more well-rounded guy. So I understand the odds, and I understand people that are picking him, especially the fucking 95% of people that are on the Yan parlay. I mean, that's like the biggest. Everyone's on the fucking. It's like, okay, well, when 95% of the MMA community is agreeing on something, usually not a good thing. So it feels like somebody's going to fuck up the Yan parlay. I believe, just from a hunch, just from a feeling, maybe it's the Brazilian blood coursing through my body, that Figgy is going to find a way to get this job done. Now, is it going to be a submission? I don't know. Aljo was able to get his back. Figgy is a little bit more aggressive in those type of positions. Aljo is more of a control, even though he's good with the submissions. I don't know if that's going to happen. But what I do know is Petr Yan is notorious for dropping the first round in fights, right? Everyone knows that. He makes his reads, he shells up, he sees what you're doing, and he will almost let people win the first round. In 5 rounds, it's a little bit easier to do, right? You can drop a round, then you only have to win 3 of the next 4. I do believe that he's going to drop the first round. I think he's going to drop the second round. And now you're in a situation where you have to win 3 rounds against a former champion who could get takedowns. And if all of a sudden you get taken down with a minute left in a round that you're winning, and then you lose that round, now you kind of lost that fight. So that's kind of the path to victory that I'm kind of forming in my head. Even though I do accept the fact that Petr Yan is the better fighter, the more well-rounded fighter, and I understand the odds. With him dropping around, I think Figgy's going to be able to win the second as well. The big actions is going to come from Figgy, right? The big overhands, the big shots in that tight guard, maybe a takedown. And if Figgy wins those first 2 rounds, I think he can find a way to sneak out a third in some capacity. So I'm going Figgy here. I haven't bet him yet, but as a pick, it just feels like he's just on this path to get it done. Like, I mean, switching weight classes, he's looking good. It just seems like it's, Petr Yan's already kind of been there, done that. I know he's trying to climb his way back, but I'm going Figgy.
Well, I don't hate the Figgy pick. Like, I picked Petr, but I don't hate the Figgy pick. Piotr's coming off a decent layoff. He did have a couple of surgeries in the mix there. And, Piotr's had a little bit of bad luck recently. Last 5 fights haven't been spectacular for him. But he's had quite a few tricky opponents in there. Merab, for example. Former champion. Sean O'Malley. I thought he beat Sean O'Malley, who ended up becoming the champion.
Sean O'Malley took his ass down.
The Aljo fights, he won every single one of those Aljo fights. Literally everything.
Aljo smoked his ass in the second fight.
He got the illegal knee situation. The Petr Yan, I think he's had a little bit of a bad streak there. But we are split here, but I am not. Let's put it this way. There's no bets on Petr Yan. I do think he wins. There's no bets on him. $9,000 seems absurd. But a couple of comments here that stood out to me. First of all, Figgy decision is a lock. I didn't mean to pin this one. So we're going to get that off the screen. There was a comment because I said Petr Yan hasn't really faced a nonstop wrestler recently. And somebody said, Merab, LMAO. Yeah, and he lost that fight. The point I was making was his takedown defense is a bit inflated. We haven't seen him face somebody who will shoot the takedowns and hang out on top and do that. Merab doesn't shoot. He gets against the cage and works from there. Deiveson is going to shoot. Then we have these comments from YouTube. Figgy is a dog. Yan ain't got that in him. I literally would reverse those statements. Watch Petr Yan versus Sean O'Malley. There was a ton of dog in Petr Yan there. But he had dog in him. We're just talking about if he has dog in him.
What's your dog sound like? What's your dog sound like?
And I thought he won that fight.
Bark for me. What's your dog sound like? Bark for me.
Arf. Arf.
Bitch,
and Figgy, we have seen Figgy quit. I've never seen Petr Yan quit. I've seen Figgy with my own 2 eyes quit against Brandon Moreno. Brandon Moreno broke him and he quit. He quit. He turned his head, was like, just end it. He quit. So, just a couple points to make there. This is a good main event, especially for a fight night. I'm looking forward to it.
Can you address the meniscus tear and ACL rupture? Yeah, he said he had injuries.
He had an injury and surgery a year ago. I'm correct. I am not a doctor. I'm not going to come up with some fake timeline. Then you should or should. Who the fuck knows? When you just have to assume he hasn't been gone years. He's been gone a year essentially.
Ooh, coming back too soon, you say?
No, I'm saying I'm not even going to factor in ring rust. If he's been gone 2-3 years, and it's like he's been gone 3 years, he's trying to come back.
Even if there was ring rust, I have a tetanus shot.
There you go.
My arm hurts like a bitch, too.
Yeah, see, finally people wisen up. Fizzy breaks easy. Yup, he quit. It's so funny how the wild different opinions.
Everyone type that he did not quit real quick.
He quit and that fucking dude turned his fucking... He quit.
Everyone say he did not quit, Angelo, you fucking idiot.
Please don't say that. Guys, that is the breakdown. If you want to check it all out, check it all out. It's freaking $10. It's such an insignificant amount of money for what you get. It's absolutely insane. Nothing compares to it. Literally nothing.